market is in greed mode right now, especially drumming up to our US elections next 14 days. On the 5th of November, you'll see either one of the history we make. The polling right now, you can see that Kamala Harris is like 2 percentage points higher than Donald Trump. So it's like a very close voting. Let's see who will win the election. Previously, when we talk about the US elections, we always talk about what can we do or how shall we prepare our bullet, how shall we prepare our capital. We have emphasized don't time the market. It's always good to be in the markets all the while. As some of you might be trading or traders, let's look at this simple graph that Personal Finance Club have created. By looking at this, you will see a trend. So for the past 8 elections, you see a trend from 200 days before to 0 day to 200 days after. You see that 200 days before, the market is somewhat like trending upwards, and especially after election day, for the first 200 days it will trend upwards, other than 2 years, which is 2000 and 2008. So in the year 2000, it is dot-com bubble. In the year 2008, which is the financial crisis. So in particular, these 2 years, the market trend down and trend back upwards after 200 days, or else every first year of elections, it will trend upwards. So this is the first year of election. So let's look at this. We have always looked at pre-200 days, post-100 days, or we always look at just before and after elections. What about every other years? So this is the statistic between year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. So year 1, you see that the average is like 8.3%. Year 2 is 3.4%. So in other words, usually year 2 is the year that the government would like to implement some new policies or even new tax policies or new restrictions that would hurt the business in short term, but for the long term. A lot of time, policies maker or even presidents would implement some of their policies in their year 2. All right. So you see that year 2 usually doesn't perform as good as the rest of the year. And usually year 3, they need to drum up their so-called mid-election. So year 3 is a time whereby they will input some new policies or input some market excitement to boost up the market so that they can win in their mid-election. So you see that usually year 3 is the best year among the 3 years. In other words, is year 2027. Year 2027 might be a good year in US. So earnings have started. So from this week onward, for the next 1 month, you see a lot of earnings coming up. So last week we have Netflix, ASML, we have TSMCs. So interestingly, when I launched a poll between Netflix, TSMC, and ASML, a lot of you guys like to know about ASML, which is not the companies that I understand the most. Of course, among that 3, Netflix would be the best because I assume most of us will somehow or rather watch Netflix. Either you are a Netflix user or use other people's account to watch Netflix, right? And more importantly, end of the year, December, the Squid Game 2 will come out. So there are some things drumming up in the end of the year. So I'm not sure whether Squid Game 2 will drive up their subscription again, but let's see. In this week itself, there's some big companies that are sharing their earnings. For example, RTX, one of the defense industry. We have Texas Instruments, Seagate, Boeing, Coca-Cola, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is on Wednesday, ServiceNow on Wednesday. Yeah, later I will talk a bit about ServiceNow as well. Yeah, so these are all the companies that coming up. Some of the companies that you guys have mentioned, like Unity, Roku, Palantir, SoFi, Amazon. So Amazon, we have showed before. Palantir, let's wait for their earnings again. SoFi, they just announced their earnings. Unity, Roku is in the pipeline. So let's see when is the best time. So for this morning, I asked like ASML, TSMC, Netflix, and you guys choose ASML, which is a very challenging thing for me. And Kevin also said, let's look at Keppel DC REIT because we also talk about data centers. So for data centers, especially in Singapore, it's one of the more direct way that we can participate is Keppel DC REIT. Is there any equivalent in Malaysia? And what I find is a company called AIMS. And then AIMS is a subsidiary of this company called Time.com. So in other words, Time.com also run data centers, and they own 30% of AIMS that run data centers. The reason they par down their ownership of AIMS is because they partner with this company called Digital Reality Centers. It's quite a big companies that run data centers. So with the partnership, they can continue to grow their portfolios. So for the past 2 months, these are all the topics that we've talked about, from Microsoft, Palantir, like one of the companies you guys have raised, like Palantir, like Alta, Lulu, Meta, Amazon, Tesla. We have talked about all these companies for the past few months, or 2 to 2.5 months.
Thank you so much for watching to this video, and I hope that you have enjoyed and learned something from this segment of our weekly Wealth Pulse sharing. We conduct our Wealth Pulse every Tuesdays 8 to 9 p.m. as we deep dive into the latest and biggest market news and what this means to investors. Do remember to like, subscribe, and also share with more of your friends to support us in making investing easy for everyone to follow. Join us in our community through WealthPulse, and I've placed the link in the description box below. I will see you online then. Bye bye.